Welcome back to Tabarua Island for the final day of the Globe Pro Fiji 2008. What a day it was. You know, we had to wait around a little bit for the swell to come, and when it finally did, we got a little weather with it. But that didn't stop our competitors from lighting things up out of cloud break, starting with our quarterfinal matchups today. Here's how it went down. Quarterfinal number 1 was a matchup between Taj Burrow and Bede Durbridge, the two Australians fighting tooth and nail all the way through to keep their title hopes alive in this one. Durbridge came into Fiji rated 3rd in the world and was relying on his powerful backhand attack to keep him in that lofty position. But Burrow would respond with his textbook rapid-fire approach, enticing the judges with his speed and flair. This one would go down to the wire, with Bede getting one last gasp in the closing minute, but it wasn't enough to stop Taj. Burrow moved on into semifinal number 1.
A flurry of waves towards the end, and the scores weren't rolling in as fast as we hoped, so we're like going, what's going on, me and Bede looking at each other like, did you get a good one? He's like, did you get a good one? So we kind of talked to each other through our waves, and we both said we got a decent one, so we had to sit there and wait for the scores, but fortunately for me, it was I got a bit higher score.
The next quarterfinal was a highly anticipated match between Bobby Martinez and Kelly Slater, and Martinez would open up with a huge 9.0, immediately putting the champ on the defensive. But midway through the heat, Kelly got himself a 6.0, keeping him within striking distance all the way through. Then, in the closing moments, Slater capitalized on a Martinez error when Martinez used his priority on a smaller insider. Martinez would turn around to see his worst nightmare coming true. Kelly Slater in the tube and then out, flying right into the semifinals.
I caught a small one and I paddled back out, and Bobby got that 9. It was just the best wave that had come in yet, and I just probably needed to be a little more patient. Would have been on that one, but then he was super patient at the end, and a set came, and it was always the second wave that was the best, and he took the first one, and so I got a barrel and a couple turns, and it was just a little flip-flop battle there.
Quarterfinal number 3 saw CJ Hobgood facing up with the current world champion, Mick Fanning. And Hobgood was simply masterful in this one, as he seemed to not only find every good wave in the heat, but he ripped them to shreds as well. The champ would do his best to respond, but he really wasn't a match for CJ in this one, as this quickly turned into a rout. Hobgood looking very inspired, moving on into the semifinal.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean, where you kind of like, you're doing your turns, but you still feel like you're in control, but you're almost out of control a little bit, so there's always a fine little balance there. And but no, I felt like I was in control, and then I was able to come off some of those turns and able to squeak into a barrel and then do some more turns. So I felt like I was reading the wave pretty good, and I was stoked.
In quarterfinal number 4, it was Joel Parkinson, rated second in the world, who desperately needed to keep pace with Slater, especially after B. Durbridge had dropped out earlier in this round. But he'd have his work cut out for him versus Adriano de Souza. And though the lead would change hands twice in this heat, Parco's last-minute backup was only a 4.8, leaving the door open for de Souza. De Souza capitalized and made his way into the semifinal.
It's great, it's the best result I've ever had. I got third on my first heat and on my first event. And right now I'm gonna semi-final for the today. How good for me is the best surfer in the cloud break ever. And definitely gonna be a really good heat.
Semi-final number 1 was a showdown between Taj and Kelly, two guys who have been in form all week here on Tavarua. Slater opened up though with a big 9.33, putting the pressure on Taj with this huge pit. Taj found himself in a combination situation midway through the heat, but would bring things back to within striking distance with this series of huge floaters that earned him a 7.67. But of course Slater wasn't done yet, turning what looked like your average mush ball up the reef into one of the best rides of the day with another 9. This one even better, a 9.37, sending Slater into his third final in 4 events.
I feel like as each